Hello everyone, how have you been doing? Today I watched the Game Awards show, so you don't have to, although it's already been like a few days since that happened, so you most likely watch it. But you know what? I love to talk about games that are coming out. I like to speculate about games that are coming out. I like to share with you the things that I like, the things that I don't like, my hot takes as well. I can hear yours in the comments. So anyway, let's not waste any more time and let's begin with the first game. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound was one of the first games that they show, and hey, I personally like the way this game looks. Love the animations, the art style, the 2D art style. And it also reminds me of a game called The Messenger. So yeah, I will definitely be checking this one out. The next game they showed was Solasta 2. I personally haven't played the first Solasta game, but from what I heard, it's basically Baldur's Gate 3, but with a lower budget. And there's nothing wrong with that. You do with what you have at hand. But honestly, this game really seems to be right up my alley. It's an RPG where you control several characters, similar to Baldur's Gate. So maybe I will play the first one and see if I like it enough to play the second one by the creators of Sifu. Damn, oh bro, we might be in for a treat. This guy is about to absolutely beat the living crap out of everyone in this arena. Wait, what? What's going on? Huh? Rematch. Well, definitely not the type of game that I was expecting from the creators of Sifu. I'm not a big fan of sports games in general. I think they're pretty boring, to be honest. The art style is certainly unique. You also play in third person rather than looking to your place from the stratosphere, which I guess is another unique thing that the game has going for it. But overall, this is my type of game. Moving on. Next we got Shadow Labyrinth. I don't know about you, but this game looks kind of goofy to me. You basically gotta have like an evil Pac-Man helping you get out of a laboratory. Also, the art style, it's not really I don't really like the art style very much. You think if I like Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, I'll be a fan of this, but I don't know, the art style is just rubbing me the wrong way. Something looks wrong with it. Anyway, that's my take on it. Next one. But next, gentlemen, we got confirmation of one of the most anticipated games from CD Projekt Red, The Witcher 4. It was a reveal trailer, there was no gameplay, so there isn't really a lot to talk about. But hey, at least now we know who the next game protagonist is going to be. And it's gonna be Ciri. You think that will be too obvious considering how the Witcher 3 good ending set things up for Ciri. But honestly, there were also, rumors about you being able to create your own Witcher, which really threw me off. But hey, now we have confirmation of who the protagonist is going to be. But hey, at least I believe that a thing that we can all agree on is that this is going to be the game where CD Projekt Red can gain the trust of their fans back. Because I hope you haven't forgotten about Cyberpunk and how awful of a release that game had. But they actually fix Cyberpunk, so they have my trust. But that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to give you a working product. That doesn't prove anything. Anyway, I'm getting off topic, so let's move on to the next game. But gentlemen, next we got an absolute banger: Elden Ring Night Rain. I'm really hyped for this update. I don't know what it is. It seems to be like a survival or a roguelike mode for Elden Ring. I like what I saw so far. There seems to be new weapons, things from the Dark Souls game as well as from Sekiro. But anyway, one thing that I really don't like about the game is the multiplayer aspect, because it's such a hassle just to play multiplayer. Like, it's not just invite someone and they come. No, you need to get an item, then do something with that item. Like, it's a complete hassle. It's a complete pain in the ass. But this update might work in order to improve the way multiplayer works. Also, you can see some cool trip. You can see how there is like a sort of transformation into an eagle there. Like maybe this is like a transformation, like a stone transformation from the Dark Souls 3 where you transform into a goat or something like that. But in this case, it's like a bear and you can actually fly. Maybe that's just an art of war. Unfortunately, now that we have reached the top, the pinnacle of the show, there's only one way to go. And that's down. Project Robot. They didn't show any gameplay. It was just some guy climbing something. It is made by the creator of Shadow of the Colossus. So at the very least, we know that we're gonna be climbing a lot of stuff in this game. And next we got Split Fiction by the creator of A Way Out and It Takes Two. I didn't play a lot of It Takes Two. I kind of got bored in the middle of the way, but I got to finish A Way Out. And hey, for $5, which is what the game cost me, it was a pretty good experience. It's a movie game, but so far this game seems to be more like It Takes Two, where there is a lot more gameplay. And so far, this game, gameplay-wise, it looks good. It's a bunch of minigames that you're gonna be completing with your co-op partner. But history-wise, it doesn't really look that appealing. The history sounds meh so far. But hey, we all know gameplay is king, so we'll see when the game comes out. Whoa, get a lot of these guys. From the studio that brought you KOTOR 2, New Vegas, and Neverwinter Nights 2, I mean, I can see that Obsidian is really using the BioWare approach when it comes to keeping their fans happy. Using nostalgia. I mean, that statement of the studio that brought you this and this. I mean, yeah, that's accurate. But the important part are the people that were working on those projects. I don't think any of the people, I think more than half of the people that used to work at Obsidian left a long time ago, which is basically what happened with BioWare and the Dragon Age franchise. Anyway, maybe this is the reason why I didn't really like Outer Worlds 1 in the first place. I mean, I was really looking for that itch, that Fallout New Vegas itch, and I thought the Outer World was gonna be that game. No, I got bored. I didn't like the game. I dropped the game halfway there. The reason why I think this game was so popular back then is because, it released close to the time where Fallout 76 released, so everyone was dunking on Bethesda during that time. So everyone was very positive about Outer Worlds 1, and it's an easy dunk on Bethesda back then. Oh, we are the creators, we are the studio that used to work for Bethesda, and now we're making our own RPG, our true RPG. So everyone was very positive about it. And they were constantly dunking on them. I mean, if you should have seen those trailers, I doubt they can do the same now with Starfield, because, well, Daddy Microsoft wouldn't be happy about that, wouldn't it? But anyway, maybe I'm the minority when it comes to this opinion. Maybe me not liking Outer Worlds 1 is a hot take, who knows? But let me know in the comments, are you hyped for Outer Worlds 2? Did you like Outer Worlds 1? Let me know down there. And next we go, Borderlands 4. I'm sure Borderlands fans are gonna be very happy to get a new entry to their series. Me personally, I play Borderlands 2 and I got bored, so I don't think the game is for me. Maybe I should have played it with friends, maybe that could have been more fun, but honestly, anything with friends is fun. I hear fans of the series didn't write how the history went on Borderlands 3, so overall I don't think this game is for me, but I'm sure if you play Borderlands, you're gonna enjoy this one. This video is starting to get long, so hey. Lightning round. Turok Origins. I never played Turok before, but this looks like a generic third-person shooter. Tekken 8 got a DLC, it's the Final Fantasy guy. Helldivers 2 got a new DLC, it's a new enemy faction. Palworld got a DLC with an awful frame rate, I might add. Onimusha, Way of the Sword. Hey, I remember this game, I played this game when I was a kid. I mean, what I remember is getting my ass absolutely beat on the first level. And I couldn't get past like a cave level or something. Also, the controls were junky as fuck. Anyway, it was mostly cinematics, so they didn't show a lot of gameplay, maybe like 2 to 3 seconds. So, moving on. Project Century. Hey, I'm a sucker for martial arts games, especially one set in this time period. But I don't know, the game looks very unfinished so far. It really needs some time in the oven. So, moving on. Warframe got a new DLC. Stage Fright, no gameplay. Moving on. Mafia Old Country, same, no gameplay. But hey, at least we can have an idea on what the game will look like. I mean, probably will look similar to Mafia 1, but with better animations and better graphics. Den of Wolf is Payday, but cyberpunk. They also announced a new Sonic racing game, no gameplay, just cinematics. Okami 2, I mean, I heard good things about Okami, but I never played the game by myself. Also, there is no gameplay. Moving on. There was also a Game of Thrones game. For the people that are saying that it is too late for a Game of Thrones games, yeah, I agree with you, it's very late for that. But this isn't even a game, this is just a mobile cash grab. And next we got Dying Light 3, or, I mean, The Beast, like it's called. I don't know why they didn't put 3 there. Don't ask me for that logic. But anyway, I am excited about this game. I could say that I'm actually hyped for this game. I want to see how the history of Kyle Crane continues. I mean, let's be honest, he's definitely a better protagonist than Aiden. And just that mix of gameplay that Dying Light have, parkour, combat, and the way that the weapons feel when you hit a zombie, it is quite, it's a satisfying gameplay. Moreover, they are eluding that Kyle now has like some sort of superpowers now. So hey, that's a scene that they've been. I think that was a scene that they were alluding in Dying Light 2 with Aiden, but you only got to use those powers like 2 times and it was scripted. Now the thing is, Techland, the company that makes this game, have proved time and time again that you should not buy their games at launch. Or, even in the first month that the game's released, or even in 2 months, because let's be honest here, it happened with Dying Light 1, it happened with Dying Light 2, especially with Dying Light 2. I mean, considering how that game released and how that game is now, I mean, difference is night and day. So hey, my personal recommendation is just wait 6 months after the game's release. In that way you get a better experience, a less janky experience at least. And who knows, maybe there will be even more content in the game. Like I'm telling you, or even better, maybe the game will be on sale. Kiora, I mean, I like the way the game looks, love the pixel art, it reminds me of Terraria and mixed with something else. I can't quite put my finger on it though. Now, this was only like a few seconds of gameplay. With that said, We don't really know what the game is going to be yet. I mean, I'm imagining, I think, I'm speculating that the game might be a survival game similar to Terraria. But for all we know, I mean, it might also be like a narrative focused game. In which case, I wouldn't really be that interested in it. But if it's survival, yeah, I could see myself getting interested in the game. I need to see more about it though. And next we got this patch. It's basically a movie game or a Telltale style game, whatever you want to call it. It's basically where the main gameplay is going to be you either walking around and pressing the interrupt button and also choosing different options that may lead to different paths. How important are these options? We don't know, the game is not even out yet. And the main premise of the game is that you're an edge superhero running a superhero agency. And hey, I like the premise of the game, I'm very interested in it. I will certainly check out the game once it comes out on YouTube. And I think this is a problem that all movie games have. You basically get the exact same experience either by playing the game yourself or just by watching somebody else play the game. But hey, I have to say, I really appreciate their honesty, because at the beginning of the trailer, they said, from some of the people that brings you these previous games. It doesn't mean much anyway, because I mean some of the people might just mean 2 people, but I mean at least it sounds way more honest than saying from the studio that brings you this old game. And then we got another gameplay trailer for Crimson Desert. Now, I'm telling you, this game plus KCD2 plus GTA 6 are some of my most anticipated games for 2025. I mean, Crimson Desert though, it looks very fun. Like the amount of gameplay mechanics that there is on the game. There is like climbing, there is Dark Souls combat, there is like floating islands, like there is different armor you can carry animals. Like there is so many gameplay mechanics. It looks like the type of game that I wanted to make when I was a kid. Like when I was a kid, I was always like, oh, my game will have the climbing mechanics for an Assassin's Creed. It will have the combat from Dark Souls. You will be able to climb anywhere like in Zelda. Hey, if the game turns out to be true, I mean, they have been showing gameplay, so I'm certain that the game exists. But we'll see. I mean, we'll see when the game comes out. But hey, I'm very excited for the game. And now, from the creators that brought you Concord. Oh wait, my bad, those one no longer exist. Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet. Seriously, what kind of name is that? Like, I understand if the game was called Intergalactic, but the Heretic Prophet? Like, it sounds like it's a spin-off of the main game. But no, this is the first game in the series. No, but seriously, what in the product placement trailer was that? Also, why the fuck are we playing as Ada? In all seriousness now, the game is made by the people that made The Last of Us 2, so graphics wise, I'm sure the game will look impressive. I also like the art style for the game. It's basically cassette futurism. It's how people from back then used to think how the future was going to look like, except for the ship and the sword. Like, those two do not look good, as well as the main character's attitude. I mean, right now she's reminding me of the girl from Forspoken, like just very annoying. I'm sure that throughout the game she will become a better person, but considering that this is made by the people that made Last of Us 2, I highly doubt it. But hey, this is all a reveal trailer, there is no gameplay. Considering this is made by the people that made the Uncharted and the Last of Us games, I'm sure it's gonna be very similar to the Uncharted. I'm sure there is gonna be climbing sessions. I'm not sure how they're gonna make the combat for the game. In fact, I don't think you will be able to explore many planets. I think you're gonna be stuck in one planet. One thing that I'm sure about is that the amount of discourse for the game is gonna be very high, especially as the game release approaches. And you know, maybe deservedly so, considering how much they fucked up Last of Us Part 2. And then, gentlemen, we got one of the best speeches in gaming history by this legend, Sven from Larian Studios. Bro came into stage and literally started calling out everyone's bullshit without pointing any fingers. Like, this really tells you a lot about Larian Studios, and me personally, I cannot wait for their next 2 games. So well, after that we got the announcement for the Game of the Year. Now let me give you my prediction for what I think was going to be Game of the Year before it was announced. Now these were my predictions to who was going to be Game of the Year. First of all, Metaphor Fantasio and Final Fantasy VI, nobody was talking about those 2 games. I'm sure they are good, but there was literally no talk about those 2, so those ones are immediately out of the picture. Balatro, the reason why Balatro couldn't have won Game of the Year is because it was made by literally one person. Like, can you imagine the controversy, the amount of crybaby developers that could have immediately go, this is unfair, this is outrageous, my team and I put a lot of times in this game, and you're giving the prize to that guy? So in reality, it was a competition between Astrobot and Black Myth Wukong. But considering whose vote actually count, and seeing how all the critics had it out against the monkey, it was pretty obvious that Astrobot was going to win. That was it. That was the game of the year. Can't wait for this new year. You know, you already know my most anticipated game, KCD2, Crimson Desert, and GTA 6. Let me know in the comments which one are yours for 2025. And with that said, adios.